If you currently look like this, or this, but you want to look a little bit closer to this, in today's video, I'm going to give you everything you need to make that transformation. Because here's the thing about fitness. Most people assume that they need to add more things to their training to lose more weight, but that's just not the case. Fitness advice is like Netflix. There's an overwhelming amount of movies and shows, but very few are actually worth watching. And the key is knowing exactly what's worth your time and ignoring the rest. So I'm hoping with my 7 years of being in the fitness scene and multiple years as a coach, I can guide you in the right direction. So I've broken the most valuable advice into 3 main categories: mindset, lifestyle, and consistency. And we're going to start with the most important: mindset. Anyone can be armed to the tits with the latest, greatest weight loss tools. But if you don't have the mindset to use those tools accordingly, then you're going to be stuck with a handful of firepower and no trigger finger. The good thing is there's only 2 big hurdles you need to understand to completely change the way you look at your weight loss journey, and 1 king solution that'll guarantee success. Firstly, you need to understand that the very start of your weight loss journey is going to be the hardest part of the whole thing. Think of how a rocket ship takes off into space. It needs an immense amount of energy to get itself out of orbit, but once it hits space, it's cruising. Understanding this is so important because when you start your weight loss journey, you're not only suffering the pain of being overweight and feeling like crap, but you're now also dealing with the pain of building new habits like exercising and eating healthier. You're dealing with twice the pain and have no way of knowing if your sacrifices are even being rewarded. I wish there was some trick you could do to just shortcut this pain, but it's unfortunately one of the big costs you have to pay to get to where you want to go. And that's why half of the global population is overweight. It's tough work, but it just means more for the guys that do it. And the good news is that it only has to happen once. Yes, you can technically put the weight back on, but losing weight is far, far harder than just maintaining it. I'm guessing you probably didn't put the weight on overnight. It was a slow creeping process over months and years. But once you lose the weight and you do it the right way, you gain that skill and that foresight to know what to look out for next. So even if you do put a bit of pudge back on, you'll have the expertise, the belief in yourself, and the know-how to lose it way faster and way easier. Secondly, goals aren't free. You can't just set a goal and that's it, finished. They require something of you. And the problem is, most people will set a goal but not think about the trade-offs they're willing to make to achieve that goal. Working out takes time. Organizing a diet takes time. And if you're currently already spending 24 hours of your day doing stuff, and you want to add another hour or 2 hours worth of tasks into that mix, you're trying to achieve 26 hours of work in a 24-hour time frame. And if you want a shortcut to burning out, just assign yourself more tasks in the day than you have time for. So before you go and command yourself to lose the weight, simply ask, how much time and money do I have available to spend on this goal? And if you can't find a good enough answer, then maybe you just aren't ready to lose the weight. So with the 2 hurdles covered, I want to now give you what I think is the only viable solution to a successful weight loss journey. And that's embarking on a season of weight loss. By spending a short period of the year, maybe 2 or 3 months, where you say no to all social events, takeouts, late nights, you can give yourself some space for your goal to take root, and you also cut through that initial period of difficulty by taking out some of the other demands in your life. And like I mentioned before, maintaining your new leaner body is going to be far easier. So while people in your social circle are going to be yo-yoing on their weight loss progress, you're going to be taking tactical periods of discipline then rest. Discipline then rest. And if that sounds like something you can do, let me give you the exact blueprint you should follow throughout this season of weight loss. Now, lifestyle is usually broken into 2 parts, diet and exercise. But that's actually wrong, because there's a 3rd pillar that's often always overlooked, and that's sleep. And when it comes to prioritization, most people throw exercise right at the top, then diet, and if they do even consider sleep, it'll be as an afterthought. But in reality, your prioritization should look a little bit like this. So let me go through all 3 categories and give you the easiest, most effective way you can lose the most amount of weight in the least amount of effort. Sleep is king. If you're in a car and you're trying to reach the goal of having a good exercise routine and a healthy diet, sleep is the fuel that's going to get you there. If you're not sleeping well, then you can just kiss your motivation to do the dieting and the exercise goodbye. So where do we start with improving our sleep? The cool thing is you've really only got to focus on 3 major things to see the most results. The first is a consistent sleep schedule. meaning you're going to bed and you're waking up at similar times. The reason a consistent sleep schedule is number one, because if you've got a good handle on this, then by nature, you've got a pretty good handle on life stresses, which is the second biggest thing that messes up sleep. The period of my life where I was at my lowest physically and honestly mentally was when I had a stressful job in a living condition that I didn't like, and it was impacting my sleep. And if you feel like your life is just too stressful right now, then you're probably doing too much. One of the hidden benefits of spending a month or two solely focusing on weight loss means you have to cut out a number of things from your life. And sometimes you find out that the things you thought were so important and that you were holding on to actually just aren't as important as you thought. So not only do you get to lose the weight, but you also get to reduce some stress by cutting out unimportant things that were taking your energy. That's a double win. Now the final thing you need to do to start sleeping like a king is take the damn technology out of your room. If you've got crap like a TV set up in there, then you're just doomed. Just think about it for a second. Technology like phones and TVs are probably one of the most addicting things humans have ever created. So keeping it right next to your bed in arm's reach for if you wake up in the middle of the night or you're having a hard time going to sleep probably isn't the best idea. I know it sucks lying in bed without a phone, but if you're spending hours on it before bed or you're up in the middle of the night on it, then you're just throwing good quality sleep down the toilet. Now please excuse the audio because the living room is not set up for an operation like this, but let's talk about dieting, because people seem to make dieting this big complicated thing, but it's actually quite simple. So here's how to eat healthy in under 1 minute 30 seconds. The best diets have a bit of protein, some carbs, and some healthy fats. Protein is deemed the weight loss nutrient because it's harder to digest, meaning if you ate 100 calories worth of protein, you'd burn 30 of those calories just digesting the food, compared to something like fats where you'd burn no extra calories. Meat and animal products are your go-to sources for protein. Carbs aren't bad, there are just bad sources of carbs. So these have carbs and these also have carbs. The problem is this has 3 times more calories and won't fill you up. So you might eat this and then eat this again, compared to one of these probably does the job. That doesn't mean you can't eat these. It just means if you eat more of these, you're gonna be eating less total calories throughout the week. Now let's say an average diet looks a little bit like this. You've got carb sources, healthy fats, protein. If you ate something on the lines of this every day, you'd lose some serious weight. But diet flexibility is key, and if the occasional swap from ham to chicken, or even some of these fruits, for a chocolate bar means you enjoy the diet more, then it's fine. If for one night of the week you plan to go out for dinner and you want to swap this for this, then it's fine. Even if you're slightly over your calories, it's still fine. As long as this isn't a massive feed and you're not doing it 2 or 3 times a week, then it's not going to make a huge dent in the big picture. So here's my dieting cheat code. If you stick to mainly healthy foods like these, probably not many of those, and you base yourself solely on just when you get full, I can almost guarantee you're gonna lose significant weight. It's very hard to overeat on foods like these. And remember, this is only for a season. You're not entirely giving up this. Let's talk about exercise. If you're looking to not look like this, then I'd recommend doing some weight training. A simple protocol for exercise that's perfect for losing weight and building muscle, and yes, you can do them at the same time, is doing 2 to 3 full body workouts for about 30 minutes a week and spending maybe 30 minutes to an hour walking every day. Ideally, you want to get a minimum of 8K steps and a maximum of 10, but for a new walking habit, just be happy with getting 3K and then 4K and then 5K and try and build up. And that's honestly it. Exercise doesn't have to be hard, and I find that if you even follow just a small exercise routine, it can help you be more accountable and disciplined around your dieting. If you want to grab something quick and easy, I've got a free workout program and diet plan that I give away down in the description, along with an entire month of free weight loss tools. And that's the essentials around lifestyle. But here's the thing, you won't see anything for the first few weeks. Things need time to catch up, and you have to put some blind trust in the process to see the rewards. So let's talk about how to keep consistent. And there's really only one major thing that might knock you off the horse, and that's lifestyle stress. We talked a bit about stress before, but I want to come back to it and give you something practical that you can go away and use in your life to improve it. The only time throughout my own fitness journey when I got knocked off the horse was when I was working a stressful job in a living condition that I just didn't like. And because of the stress it brought brought to my life, it did a number on my physical, but also my mental health. The thing is, you don't even realize life is stressful until you're already 10 feet under and drowning. And I found for me personally, life became a lot easier when I started to look after myself first. Now I know that probably sounds pretty harsh, but look at it like this. You're the glass and the water represents health, energy, whatever you want it to be. But the goal is to be filled to the top. A filled glass is a happy glass. The problem you might be facing, and what I was facing, was I wasn't letting my own glass get filled before trying to help other people fill theirs. People were up here and I was way down here, and whenever water came back around, I was offloading it to other people before topping myself up. But look what happens if you stay topped up and water comes back around. You've got excess. You're topped up and you've now got spare to give to other people. That's how you should see fitness. It's the ability to improve yourself so you can be available to improve the people around you. In a nutshell, you'll only keep consistent if you prioritize your health before sacrificing them for the benefits of others. Look at where you spend your time and ask yourself, does this have any benefit to me, or am I simply doing it because I don't want to disappoint someone? I hope you liked this video. If you did, then there's a good chance you're going to like this one as well because YouTube knows what's up. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll talk soon. Cheers, gents.